Woo, back in the game.
Oh, so pretty.
I like to stay pretty and then get pretty again when it's time.
Oh,
so check this out.
Yeah.
You actually gave me something that had already been in the back of my mind, and I thought I must have talked about this in the past. And then I looked through my YouTube things, and I was like, I don't see where I've talked about this, because you did something that I think a lot of successful people. Hold on a second. That a lot of successful people take advantage of, but I don't know that we talk about it enough. Before I even get into all that, tell them who you are and what you do and blah 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 while I show them online.
Okay. All right. Well, hello everyone. I am Nicole Brewer. I am an expat, currently based in Oman. I've been living abroad for a decade, just over 10 years, which blows my mind. But I've been gone for a decade from the States. I like to tell people I'm an English teacher by day and a travel blogger by night. So, a woman of multiple hats. So I'm, the co-founder of the I Love the Globetrot blog and online travel community. And, me and my business partner, Renee, she's based in Australia and I'm here in Oman. And we started the community actually around the time we both were teachers in South Korea and we were getting ready to move on different paths. So she was moving to Australia, I was moving to Oman. And in that point, we just wanted to have our own travel community and blog. And we're really like an all-encompassing site to just try to inspire people to travel the world and become expats like us. And so, we've done some group trips from our I Love the Globetrot community, but my bread and butter outside of teaching has been traveling and blogging about my experience living in the Middle East, single woman. I've been fortunate enough to be featured in some prominent publications about living abroad and traveling abroad. I've been in Forbes a year ago, blows my mind. I had a feature in Forbes, like how does teacher in Forbes to travel the world? I've been in Essence on National Geographic Travel, BBC Travel. The list kind of goes on. So, I'm pretty fortunate because I'm in a country, Oman, that's been like, we call it an emerging market. It's up and coming. So a lot of people are intrigued about this country. They don't know much about it. So I'm really kind of like in the right place at the right time to be blogging about a country in the Middle East that is trying to attract tourism. So, unfortunately, right now, with everything that's happening with COVID, travel, obviously everything is closed, our borders are closed, things of that nature. But inshallah, as we say here in the Middle East, things will get back on track. So, I write hotel reviews, restaurant reviews, all of those type of things for my
And so, I'd heard about you for a while because whereas you focus on a lot of different things, I'll go to a country, stay there for 2 years and really dig in. 2 to 3 years ago, I was in Brazil. Once I got my permanent residency, I've been in Brazil for 5 years now. And when the restrictions lift, I'll be able to just coming back and forth from Brazil. Brazil is my new where I live, and I'll vacation in America for a couple of days at a time. But I'll probably go see some of the rest of South America, and I really dig into where I'm at that time. For example, before here, I was in Shanghai, China for a while. And what I wanted to talk to you about, believe it or not, it had a lot to do with travel, but it also had a lot to do with that age-old question that people come up with. But Wateef, I want to travel the world, but how will I sustain myself? I don't have any skills that I feel translate into another country or another language, or even translate into teaching something that I do online. And I had to really think about it. And with all the grand suggestions I give, I forgot about one of my not so secret tools that I and my friends use that we haven't talked about enough. Because people have heard me use this phrase, but I don't know that people have actually seen me really dig into what it is and how to use it. MOOCs, MOOC, massive open online course. So let's back up for a minute. I want to show them what you did that said, you know what, we need to do this. Tell them what that is and what it represents.
Oh, so yeah, during this downtime that we've been having with this lovely pandemic, I've been trying to sustain my time and be productive. I went through that period of like not really wanting to thrive and do anything educational, but I said, okay, Nicole, you got to get off your tail and make some things happen. So, over the past few months, I've been doing a few different certificate courses. And this particular course I just finished up yesterday, as you can see by the post. I'm pretty excited to have done. It's actually a certificate in sustainable tourism. As you can see, it says promoting environmental public health. Because, like one of my goals after I finished teaching abroad, we had this discussion before. I want to do early retirement, trying to be like you, trying to boss up, and I want to have a hostel abroad. Still determining where that's going to be. Right now Portugal is behind my list. Somebody's been trying to sell me on Brazil or something, somewhere in South America recently. But so this particular course is about sustainable tourism and promoting environment and public health. And prior to that, I did a free, this one wasn't free, but I did a free Google digital marketing certificate course. That took a few weeks to complete because I figured, as a blogger, that'll be good for me to work on promoting, my brand and even.
Well, before I shouldn't have clicked off that. Let me say this. That was from the University of Copenhagen.
Yes.
Let me say that again. What a lot of people don't know is that you can go online to a place like Udemy, Corsair, type in what you want to learn and look at all the different universities that teach it. A lot of them teach it for free. Some will teach it for $10 or for free, but if you want the certificate, pay me $10. And the way it normally works is that you can take these classes. You take the class, you take the exams. It's the same professors, and they found a way to really monetize themselves, a lot of these professors, and I'm proud of them because educators are often underpaid. But what they end up doing is saying, okay, I can go on this platform, put together the class that I just taught people and put all my exams, all the book materials online, and then from there, just correct tests as they come in. Like everything else having to do with education, if you are legitimate with yourself, you can take these classes. I mean, you can cheat, but you're only cheating yourself. But I've taken several of these courses that have done nothing but help me, you understand, with these little bits of business. A lot of people don't know that many years ago, when I first got into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, I used a MOOC for that. I used a 12-week MOOC by a very reputable university, and that's how I learned cryptocurrency, the ins and outs of cryptocurrency. I still take MOOCs that may last anywhere from 3 weeks to a month to 6 months. Right now, one that I'm studying is based on, I'm learning, I know cryptocurrency, and also I'm learning, well, I have to kind of come public with this, but I've been learning day trading currencies. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there is just so much available right now that you can do from home to literally make your quality of life better. And I'm not just saying that. You can learn things and become your own super secret learning person and learn skills that other people don't even know you have.
Absolutely agree. That's the thing. I was like, now with all of this downtime, I was like, it's pivotal for me to try to up my game, get some more skills under my belt, and some credentials added to my LinkedIn. I need to update my resume sooner rather than later.
Can I show you something? Mm-hmm. You said you've always wanted to open a hostel. Were you stuck on where you wanted to open it?
I told you my dream, my goal is Portugal. That's where I see myself hiring. But like I'm flexible. Like I wasn't planning on being an Oman for 6 years. Like that just kind of happened. So I think it's going to be based on like what opportunities present themselves. Like actually, we had saw. For one of my travel groups, there was someone who was starting a hostel in Thailand, but just before the pandemic. I don't know if you saw that post. Yeah. But me and Renee had considered it. We looked into it, but it just wasn't the time. Then everything kind of hit the fan. So, but I'm flexible. But like the ultimate, my vision board, that's the goal. Portugal is where I see myself.
There is a street not too far from here called São Domingos, right? Mm-hmm. This building that's pink and red. I saw it back when it was, I think it was either a hotel or a hostel before it went out of business. It's small. It doesn't have a whole lot of rooms, but it's got room to grow. Whereas some people just see a building that was overrun with spray paint. I saw her when she was still on the block. Mm-hmm. I have been talking to some of my friends about that building. Mm-hmm. I'm giving away the game. I'm giving away some free money. But I've been talking with some of my friends about that building because it's about 15 minutes away from downtown, easy to catch Ubers in and out in a fine working class neighborhood where nothing bad happens. That building has potential written all over it. And I mean, I'm hard pressed to ever want to go back into a brick and mortar business, but we should talk after class about that. We should talk after this program.
All right. See, this is what happens. Great minds, man. I'm all about it.
I'll show people one of the sites that is really good. And I don't know what your favorites are, but I'm going to show, and I throughout as we talk, I'll show some people. I'll show people a few other ones. Here's one that I like, Udemy. I'm taking the Forex course here now, but regular Udemy.com, they've got tons of stuff, and they have been almost giving away stuff because so many people have been coming in. Like, give me a subject you think you'd like to study that would make you either more fun or better for your business.
Oh, put me on the spot. A subject.
I'll give you one right now that's popular among a certain sector of my friends.
Okay.
They're learning.
Oh, Python. Oh, yeah, that sounds like that's up Renee's alley. She's that techie. We've talked about.
So you can go here, and by the way, we're not even getting into how to teach it. They've got Python courses, machine learning, ethical hacking, data analysis, and you go by. Look at that. You can get a 5-star course for, I think that's $5 Python for beginners. It's been taken by 50,000 people who have all rated it 4.5 or higher, and you can just go into that and see what happens. And this is something you can do in between doing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you said it because that's actually something that she's been trying to like get me. And she was like, girl, for us, be able to become digital nomads, just be able to be anywhere. She was just like, you need to learn coding.
I haven't had a business for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Now, good
I know the skill that was worthwhile having, but I just know me. It's not really my passion. It's not like what I can see myself doing.
Oh, no. I'm not saying you have to learn coding, but what I'm saying, there's so many other things. Like with this class by itself, for $5, which it comes down to because I'm looking through a Brazilian browser. Let's just say it's $20 in America. 54 hours of video lecture, 14 articles, 14 downloadables, and 26 coding exercises.
Wow, that's
for $20.
That's a steal.
Let's see if we have the professor.
55.
Who's the professor on this one? Yeah. He's had 732,000 students. His name is Tim, and he's a Java, Python, Android, and C+ expert developer.
Look at those reviews. That's amazing.
Because you know what they're doing? They're taking the stuff they were teaching people in college, taking all those tests that they were giving, all their notes, scan it up to a place, and record their same lecture on a green screen, and it's evergreen content. They only had to do this once, and that's why my friends and I are considering teaching here. You make money every time somebody says, let's just say you give them $20 and Corsair takes half. You've only done the work once. I don't know how much Corsair takes. I'm just saying, assume it's a 50-50 split with a provider. So every time somebody takes this class, you get $10 in your pocket. Bing. And that's on top of your regular teacher salary. And these are quality teachers. Quality teachers. But you go by the ratings, not by what somebody tells you.
Right. Yeah, you got me over here thinking. It's like I told you I've written a book, a guide to land an English teaching job abroad, and this is actually something that I had kind of considered like turning my book into like an online course because, when I get inbox, I wrote the book because I would get so many inbox questions about like, how did you get a teaching abroad? You didn't have a teaching license before you went to South Korea, this, that, or whatever. So, I'm just doing the research and wrote a book about it, interview people, things of that nature. The book has done decent, but got me over here like, maybe I should turn my book into a course. Maybe people, will be more, interested. But it's funny because like, I'm not big on video. Someone literally just mentioned to me earlier, they were just like, what about your YouTube channel? You should be doing more video. And it's like, I'm getting more comfortable now doing these interviews with people and things like that. But it's like create a whole course. It's like, I know I can teach every day in the class in front of students. I don't know what it is about me and video. I just haven't really been big on doing it. But now you're like,
well, here's the thing. Right?
Make it happen.
How long have you been there?
Mine, I've been here 6 years. And I told you I was in South Korea for 3.5 and then Oman for 6 years.
Okay, now watch this. If you've been there for that long, would it be reasonable to say that you are a subject matter expert on Oman and how to teach there?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing. That's my go-to. Like, everybody asks me questions. Like, literally, I don't know if you saw the post I did earlier. Someone was asking me about, like, oh, you know, I did a search about Black women online. Yeah.
I did a video on how to take what skills you have and turn them into being a subject matter expert. Not learning something new, but saying you already know this. Because for Brazil, I mean, and here, hold on, let me show you the game. Because I've been here this long, people would constantly come to me and say, hey, Watt, give me some information on what paperwork I need, what order I need to put the paperwork in. Before COVID and before all the last final straws, because there's always a new final straw in America, every week or two, I would get some friend who said, here's my friend, can you help him? No problem. I've had such a landslide of people interested in how to do the paperwork to live in Brazil, what they need to do ahead of time, what can they do online before they arrive, where do they need to live, can I help them find a realtor that speaks English, can I help all this stuff that I used to do every now and then for free, I've had to actually turn it into a business or it was going to drive me crazy.
Yeah.
And
I'll or
say again?
I said, would you say you're more like an expat consultant, like you help them to move there? Like, okay. Expat relocation service. I'm just looking at your like LinkedIn out, your titles.
Yeah. Visa residency permanent application, processing identification documents, taxpayer ID numbers, all that stuff that because you and I have been in our countries for so long,
yeah,
we can do it in our sleep. We know. And we also, here's the important one, we know the difference between what happens on the ground and what happens on the internet that people tell you. And if anybody wants to reach out on me on LinkedIn, you can catch me on LinkedIn. You can catch me here. You can message me at YusefWateef@gmail.com. If anybody's interested in what I do professionally, I always say don't look at my resume first. Go all the way down and look first and foremost at my recommendations, because this is where other business professionals put their name on the line and say, this guy knows his shit.
Amazing. Yeah.
And I've got quite a few of those. Then you contact me and say, I want to hire you. And I'm okay with that. I'll be here. If you want to take that extra data to look up my name, I'll be here. Right. But that's what I'm saying. So now I'm in a position where I'm considering doing a course, putting it on Corsair on all these different steps to the process.
Yeah. Smart.
You know, there are ways to do it that are fair for everyone, but you've taken MOOC classes before, just like me, just like I'm doing with my Forex, learning Forex, just like I did with cryptocurrency. You research a good one, take it, and they make you money. But a lot of people don't know that it's kind of like I know a nurse that's also a hacker. At night, she's like taking 2 years of her life and hey, salute Compton, Chris Trips. She at night would just study data stuff, and she bought an old, used, not old, like a 2-year-old laptop computer that was used, and that's the one she uses for all her, internet stuff. And she's a nurse by day, and at night she's just dirty on the internet, just doing stuff. And that's her secret skill. She can actually farm that skill out to people. Somebody crossed me once, and she was like, "What? Just give me their name. I'll fuck their life up." I was like, "Whoa, whoa." I'm not trying to take penitentiary chances like this because, or I have friends that'll study online. Let's say you just want to learn more. You just want to be someone who knows more, wants to know more about that subject. I know people have no problem learning a second language online, right?
Exactly.
So why not take Brazilian Portuguese online and then take a course in Brazilian history, the history of?
Yeah, absolutely.
What other MOOC courses do you have coming up?
I decided to take a little bit of a break right now. Like I said, I did 3 courses back to back over the past few months. I don't have anything else lined up right now. I know we talked about maybe looking at a language course, Portuguese. But right now, I'm just taking a break. I'll decide in a bit what is to come. I mean, like you said, there's so much information out there, I'm reading about investing. Like I'm all about that recently. Like that's been my goal for 2020 is getting on that game. So you got me tempted about this cryptocurrency course. Of course, I want to tell me more. But so yeah, I probably will look more into like one of these money courses next, but I haven't signed up for anything yet.
So you're looking at cryptocurrency?
No, I mean like I have some, you know, like Litecoin, Bitcoin, but you got me like I don't know if it's going to be crypto, but just investing. Like I don't know if it's going to be forex or what I want to go into next. Like time will tell. I'm trying to figure it out because like I'm trying to make money moves. I'm all about having several streams of income. I got my blog and I got the book. You got me thinking about the course.
I have some books that I would suggest to you that, as a matter of fact, I'm going to send to you. Have you read The Richest Man in Babylon?
Yes, I have actually. Yeah, one of my good friends told me about that. Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, why don't you do this? Tell them about this book.
You want me to tell them, Mike?
Yeah, I want you to tell them.
I vaguely like, no. It's like I vaguely remember it. I know I read it a while back. I mean, ooh, you putting me on the spot over here. It's like
I said, have you read it? You said, yeah. And I'm like, oh, tell them about it.
I have read it, but I because I remember one of my good friends told me about it, but it's like, I can't go into detail about what it's about right now. Like I vaguely remember it, so.
Okay, well, The Richest Man in Babylon, it's a parable book about the concepts of money and how you should apply money to your life. It's a phenomenal book. I suggested everybody check it out. I hope that everybody gets that opportunity to read this book. If anybody wants this book, you know what? You can contact me and I'll get you a copy.
You got me wondering. I was like, where is my copy? Because I remember, yeah, it's a short read. It's not very
long. It's a very short read. It's just a powerful read. It's a very powerful read. Well, I would also say, let me think. What's another quality book that I would say? Oh, you know what? Something that still holds true. Have you read?
Oh no, I have heard of this, but I actually haven't read it. I know I've definitely heard of it.
Yep. And here's the thing: it's an extraordinarily. The book is, when you read it, it doesn't say the things that you think a book about wealth should say. I work as a financial professional. How you doing, Charles? Good afternoon from wherever you are. I appreciate you showing up. And for everybody who's watching, I don't care if you're watching this on Facebook or any place else, make sure you go in and click the subscribe button on the Facebook channel, the YouTube channel, because this is where I get to meet other interesting people and we share a lot of interesting ideas. How did you find us, Charles? But the millionaire mindset, the millionaire next door, those books talk about, again, let me back up for a second. This is something that I read when I was a financial professional. I worked in the financial business for quite a while, and it's one of those books that really does change the way you look at money at any point in your life. A lot of people think that you have to be a certain age to really get money, or you're just going to be poor. No, you're not. At any point in your life, at every point in your life, you can do better with your money. You can definitely do better with your money. Let me see. I'll give you one more book that I think would be, where is it?
Yeah, I definitely got to level up on with money. I got to do better. That's the thing. I travel so much. It's just like, sometimes I kick myself and I think about how many, like I've been to almost 50 countries and I'm like, I spent so much money on trips. I'm like, now being forced to sit my tail down somewhere, as opposed to like being in Mozambique or, wherever I was planning on going and traveling to this summer, just like, this disposable income, let me get on this game, this investing game. So,
Charles, let me ask you a quick question. Did I get recommended to you, or did a friend recommend it to you, or did I pop up on your YouTube? Am I finally at the point where YouTube is saying, hey, this guy is fun, or how did you, how did I come to you? What about this one?
Oh yeah, Napoleon Hill. I'm a fan.
Have you read Think and Grow Rich?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was just like, I know like a little bit about money and that particular mindset. You know, I'm a huge fan of like law of attraction and things of that nature. So, you know, Napoleon Hill, he comes up a lot. I know, like sometimes I've seen some of his videos, like, you know, some of his old videos and stuff. Like one of my coworkers here, Brian, he sends me some of his stuff on YouTube to check out. So, you know, I'm a fan.
Yeah, he's legit. You know what? Leadjar123. Here's what I want you to do: is I want you to shoot me an email and I'll get you those books. My email is YusefWateef at gmail.com. So if anybody wants to contact me, or if anybody wants to get those books that I was showing, there you go. YusefWateef at gmail.com. Booker, yeah, man, come on down. What city are you coming to? I'm in Sao Paulo, but we definitely have to connect. Let me know. Shoot me an email. Send me your WhatsApp number, and we'll connect.
What's going on over there with the borders? Well, everything was happening with COVID. Like, are you guys locked down as much as we are over here in Oman? I can't leave the country if I wanted to right now.
Well, here's the thing about Brazil. Brazil did the lockdown, and they're doing a phase 1 open, because for us, like, you can't just like go hang out at a restaurant. Restaurants can only do delivery service, or if you have a walk-up window, you can. Hey, man of tomorrow, I'm flattered. You know, I wish I got the opportunity to go to your channel as much as I would like to, because you're a busy man and I'm a busy man. I hope you understand. But man of tomorrow, I would like for you to come to my channel as a guest. For anybody who doesn't know, look him up on YouTube, and I'll tell you the same thing I tell everyone. Follow his channel for a month. If it's not for you, that's okay, but give him a chance. Man of tomorrow, shoot me. I don't know whether or not we've had a chance to connect in the past. If we have, great, but if not, I don't have your number anymore or your WhatsApp. Shoot me an email, please, man of tomorrow. I want to catch up with you. Now, as far as
this is the same thing here. Like there's no dining out, there's no barbershops are closed, salons, all of that stuff.
Right. Well, one of my friends, she said that once COVID hit, that my mustache style changed, because I had to realize my own limitations. I can't do what my barber did. My barber, he would give me this one real smooth curved line that went all the way back. For me, because I know what I can and can't do, I just did this and I go straight through, so I can keep the spirit of it. And it's grimy, but so am I, so that's cool.
The struggle is real right now for all of us. Yeah, I feel you.
Okay, Charles, that's what's up. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Nice.
I miss travel. I'm planning on going to Carnival, but it's not looking good for 2021. Salute to you all, man. Ooh. Now, here's the thing. I wasn't a big Carnival person, but for people who know me and know Brazil, they know that I was a big person on the ensaios. The ensaios were the big pre-parties that they would have before, as they would practice in Brazil. And I'll share this. You know what? Hold on. Let me do this. For anybody who wants to.
Yeah, I haven't been to a carnival yet. It's on my list.
Brazil, here's what I would tell people about Carnival. Once in your life, you should go to the big, crazy carnival in Brazil, in Rio. It's interesting. Do that once in your life. You don't have to go every year. That's not something that you really want to be like. If you're out there like that, like a party person, it's great. I'm not a party person like that, but the ensaios are where they have all the different schools have different practice nights. And it's also where they do a little bit of fundraising. So you might pay $5 to go in, get a plate of food, which sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But the music and the dancing, and it is loud and it's fun. It's so hot in there. But unlike Carnival, you don't have a bunch of drunk people. It's not that kind of griminess. It's just music and watching people have fun.
Yeah.
So here are some of the different ensaios, and I mean, they are so much fun. They are so, I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me put a little of this on the screen for y'all. Could you hear that?
That's pretty dope. So tablet tamer. Yeah. Hey, girl. Hey. Push a key.
Tina is, she's a regular. She's always.
I've seen her on here. Knows I'm
Mr. Star Winter out there hustling. We had a great conversation.
Tomorrow night, we're chatting tomorrow. Expat.
Oh, I had it with her last week. We did it on my show. We did a last week.
I love it. Awesome. Yeah, we're trying to get more folks out of the country when these borders open and make it happen.
So when you ask about Brazil, here's the thing. Even when they do start international flights again, one of the problems that's coming up right now is, quite frankly, a lot of countries are saying, if you're from America, if you were in America, we just don't want you. They're just flat out saying that the way America handled this crisis was the worst possible. Now, in Brazil, Bolsonaro, the president, he tried to follow the way America was doing it, but a lot of his ministers and a lot of the people were like, fuck you, no. So he was trying to fight for a lot of, we need to open this and that, but a lot of the rank and file people in his cabinet, he had to fire some of them because they were like, no, we're not going to do this. No reputable person is going to get behind you on this. And he was really mad. He starts firing people, but he couldn't force people. Listen, you can bribe somebody with money, but it's hard to convince people to do something that might get their health and the health of the people that they need to get money from in danger. And Brazil is not like America in that healthcare here is nationalized, which we can have another conversation about that. But there's so much about life that's different when you leave the United States. It's walking down the street here, everybody's wearing their masks. Yeah. I remember once there's a bakery down the road, and I had left my apartment, walked down the road. Somebody called me, so I took my mask off one ear to answer the phone real quick. And I put my phone back in my pocket, and I took one step into the bakery, and the whole staff was like, "No, mask, your mask back." I ran back outside. I had to, but they hit me so hard. They hit me so hard that they were like, "You can't come in our business like that."
Yeah. It's they mandated it. Like it's like, well, I want to say law, but you can get fined. You can get fined if a cops and the cops are around. Like I live across the street from a college. Even though the students aren't obviously around, but I know in my apartment complex, one of the guys, one of the workers, he went out and just just subconscious, he just forgot. Like he went out and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go water the flowers." And then as soon as he was about to turn back around and go back to get his mask, Popo's put up on him and gave him a fine. I was like, "See, I'm not trying to have it." Even though it's like 100 degrees outside, it's the desert, but gotta do what I gotta do. Gotta rock that mask. Social distancing.
Yeah, I mean, it's that whole, but here's the thing. There is a lot of, here's the thing. In Brazil, I keep finding a lot of people, they have the best intentions, but it's real easy to slip up and forget that, like you'll walk someplace, and because Brazil is such a outdoorsy community, everybody hugging each other kind of place, you have to train yourself to not hug or to not kiss a woman on the cheek or to not, it's just very, And also people are used to, not just on weekends, but every day after work, you might get a different call from a different friend of mine saying, "Hey, we're having coffee down at so-and-so, come hang out." Yeah. And that's the thing about Brazil that I love and that I miss. That's that's the Brazil that got taken away from me.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. And that's the thing, like for me, being in a Muslim country, I mean, people, it wasn't that difficult to not touch, because we didn't touch each other. Like, obviously, even as a teacher, I got boys in my class. I can't touch them. The girls, it's like, so even though they're not here, it's like the culture-wise, that wasn't the biggest part for me to deal with. But with my friends, like you said, my people, it's like being a single woman living in the Middle East, it was just like my reprieve has been like, on the weekend, I'm going to go over to the house. We're going to have drinks, or we'll go up to Muscat. Like I live in Nizwa. I'm about an hour and a half outside of the capital, Muscat. All of the party, all of the fun stuff is in Muscat. It's just like Muscat was closed. That's where most of the cases have been. So that was closed off for a good 2 months. Like there was no, leaving Nizwa. And I was just like, I am about to lose my mind. I'm a travel blogger. This is what I do. On weekends, I'm in Dubai, like at least maybe once, if I'm lucky, twice a month, like just kicking it. going to the blackouts. that Miss Pusha Key. You know what I mean? Like I miss the travel aspect of living in the Middle East. That was the beauty of being here. It's so easy to hop over to other parts of the GCC. And I was like, woo, the struggle. But I understand it.
And here's the thing, though. That's why we have to figure out a time while we're doing what we're doing. We got to figure out how to not go crazy. That's why doing different things online, organizing yourself to say, what can I learn to make myself better when I leave? Doing things like that, the online courses, like the MOOC courses, things like that. Those are the things that you have to do to keep yourself from going crazy. Because when you realize how much of Brazil is, or any country that you live in, it's not the big things, and it's not your job. You can have a job anywhere or a job online. It's that social aspect of where you live that we're being robbed of. That's the one that gets, when you're being robbed of that social aspect of your life. Little things like, Lejar said, okay, thank you. Live part-time in the DR. Yeah, make sure you shoot me an email, YusefWateef@gmail.com. Shoot me an email.
No, that's exactly. I was saying the same thing. Like I was chatting with one of my girlfriends recently back home in the States. She's a lawyer back in Chicago, and she was just like, "Girl, like, what have you been doing?" And I told her, I was like, "Oh, I'm just finishing this course, and I do, attend these conferences and do all these different things." And she was like, "You're on summer vacation. You're just going to run yourself rugged." I was like, "Girl," you realize I'm not out here being social with my people like I usually would be. So this is
wait, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's what I say. I was like, this is what keeps me sane, taking courses and attending virtual conferences. Like I get, they call me, Nikki, like I love networking and not being able to do that in person. Hugs, yes, girl. The human interaction. I miss hugs, the simple things. I agree. Yes, Keita. The struggle.
Like this right here is your average
the United
Tuesday.
Nations of supervillains.
That's like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about that day at all.
Right. Love it.
Except we don't get that anymore. Or little things like, something as simple as this that I don't get anymore. Look at this.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah. Or I even, I run a group called Black Expats in Brazil, and we usually do 2 things a month. One thing we do outdoors, we'll go to a celebration or just go out to have ice cream. Then we'll have something indoors once where we just all get together and, our parties for everything from Thanksgiving to just, hey, it's Monday. You miss those things where we could just get together and hang out. Like, this is one of my favorite pictures from Black Expats Brazil.
Yeah, I feel you. Same thing. It's like our brothers and sisters of Oman group. We would have meetups. I know we try to do something Thanksgiving, different holidays, trying to get more. We were, trying to build a group back up because there's a lot of people in there that aren't actually based in Oman anymore. But yeah, I miss the interaction, man. And this is the struggle. But I mean, I'm grateful to at least have this opportunity to talk to people and. Thank goodness for technology. Thank God for YouTube and Facebook groups. I love the Glow Try help keep me sane and a different online community. So, yeah.
You know what, Lucar? I'd like to talk to you about that.
Heart. Yeah.
That takes a whole lot of courage and salute to you and all the people who are on the front line.
Yes.
Risking themselves so that I can be here and be healthy. And I appreciate you. She said, look at what Kenna said.
Tired of dancing by myself. I know, child. Girl, the struggle. But
besides, let's see.
I need to say I'm sorry.
Earlier, we showed everybody Udemy. Yeah. But I also want to show everybody 2 things. One, I want to show you something specific that Corsair is doing. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but this may be relevant to some of the women watching.
Okay.
Did that pop up?
I was going to say, I don't see. You're sharing your screen? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Take a look. The 10,000 Women Initiative.
Okay. Let me check this out. Just finish my
You know,
course.
that's something that a lot of the women here, it's they want 10,000 women and 10 courses to provide practical business education. And they do it in Portuguese, which is an offshoot of the regular Corsair.com, where you go on. It's another MOOC platform, and you can go on and find all kinds of things that you want. Like, let's not even talk about English as a second language. What about people who just want to improve their English communication skills? It's got 12,761 ratings, all of them rated at a 4.7 or over. This one starts today, actually, July 3rd, and it's by Georgia Tech.
Love it.
I mean, the information is out there.
Absolutely. Like that course I took, the sustainable tourism one. Like you said, it was technically the course was free, but I ended up paying just, I wanted to have a certificate. But definitely worth it.
What they have on tourism.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one you took. There you go.
Yeah, that's the one I took.
But yeah, the information is out there. Like, I'll give everybody another one. I don't know if they know about what's the name of that other one? Mr. What's the name of the other MOOC program course?
Remember the topic?
Well, how about this? I'll give you this one, the one that I used for cryptocurrency and blockchain. It's a phenomenal course. It was 12 weeks long, right? Blockchain at University of Nicosia, which is a Greek university, DFIN 511, Introduction to Digital Currencies. And I got into that class, and it was a game changer. Game changer. Definite game changer. And for anybody who's ever heard anything about cryptocurrency, I don't know if you know who this guy is, but you should. That name is an extraordinarily important name, Andreas Antonopoulos.
Ethereum, I guess some of that. Might have to look into that. See what else. I told myself I'm gonna give myself a little break. I was like, okay, Nicole, you've been doing good. You did 3 courses back to back. Take a little break, but I know me. I'm gonna get Aggie. I'm gonna be ready to do something shortly. Keep myself busy.
But yeah, I mean, the information is out there, and it's a great way to break the boredom. Because here's the thing. Normally, I could have my regular career with my clients, and then in the afternoons, evenings, whatever, go hang out with my friends. Now, I don't want to be finished with my clients at 6 or 7 p.m. and then just stand there twiddling my thumbs in front of Netflix. I don't want that. Netflix is great. There are some great shows on there, but I don't want that life. I will tell you, this is where discipline comes in, folks. Anybody who's been watching this channel long enough knows I have a weakness, and I understand my weakness, so I stay as far away from it as possible. I love video games. If I had an Xbox in my apartment, I would be doing some very bad things to my life right now.
You don't have an Xbox? That's impressive. I'm impressed.
Do I want one? Yes, there are some games coming out. Like, what I did is I made a deal with myself. I made a list of 5 big blockbuster games. And when one of these games comes out, I'll buy a machine, and I'll give myself 30 days to beat the game. And then I sell them both, even if I sell them at a loss. And I've done this for years. So it's Grand Theft Auto, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and it'll be Cyberpunk 2077. I'll buy the game, buy the machine. I'll use it for, let's call it 6 weeks or even 2 months. But then when I finish the game, it's no more going back to play it, and it's no more buying other games. I sell it.
I like it. Smart. It's real smart. Yeah, like you said, our time is money. Our time is valuable. I know I've been like, I indulge. I love me some Netflix, but like you said, I gotta set boundaries. It's like, okay, I got my reading time. I have my, social media, because and that's the thing. I will scroll and waste so much time on social media. I love you guys. I love my community, but it gets to a point. It's just like, being a teacher. I'm on summer vacation. I'm like, Nicole, if you're not traveling, try to be productive. Do something. Get some reading done. Get some studying done.
Well, Lee, here's what I'd like to do, Lee. I want you to email me. Make sure you email me. You understand that this is like what I do. I teach people how to monetize. I do it casually in my videos, but then there are people who want one-on-one instruction. I'll show you guys something else. Hey, shout out to Green Machine. For a lot of people who don't know, one of the other things that I spend a lot of time on that I'm glad that I'm able to do is, let's see, I'll pull it out here.
Yeah, I guess.
Good. Diversify that portfolio.
Yes, I hear you, girl. I haven't checked that in a minute, but I have a little bit too.
But for people who don't know, I have a Patreon. Patreon is a lot less fun than my YouTube where we are now. Let me say that again. Patreon is less fun than we're having right now. Good afternoon, Rainy Woman, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to stop by. And what I will say is, Lee Jar, I got some things that I can help you with. It's not that I haven't done it before. So what I wanted to show people, though, is that this right here is I have let me give you this. Cut. Deeper, less fun, technical money, career, life info. There we go. So I'll show you guys my Patreon. Patreon is where people go when they want, for example, I talk about living in Brazil. Well, this is where I talk about some of the paperwork necessary to come to Brazil. People talk about a lot of, and there are 3 different levels, and I'll be very clear. The ones that pay $100 a month, what they're paying for is the information plus calling me 24 hours a day and me helping them literally, hand on their shoulder. I'm not going to be so arrogant, and I am arrogant, as to make you read through all these, but what I will tell you is go to the Patreon, read about what it is that I do. Then I also want you to look at some of the posts that I've put up to see whether or not this is worth it for you. How to subject matter expert, how to take what you need and become a subject matter expert. Lijar, that's exactly what you need right now, is to take the experience you have and monetize it. What are some of the, I have a friend, we call it Sitting in Luxury. I have a dear friend, new friend, who gets paid to babysit luxury mansions. Literally, they pay her to go live in their mansion. And she talked about how you...
Are you talking about Stephanie? Stephanie? Are you talking about Stephanie? Oh, okay. No, there's somebody else. Yes, Stephanie Perry. She's like the house sitting queen to me. Like, I know that's her. I don't know if you're... You got
to introduce me to Stephanie, but here's a big one. Okay. How to get your background checks for immigration and expat visas, because a lot of people don't know. You can get on a plane and go anywhere in the world, but when you get off, what if you don't have the right visas? Yeah. This is how you get your visa, your background check, you get your immigration papers done in America, FBI. I mean, you know what I'm going with this. FBI, local police, all those things that separate you from being just a 2-week traveler.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Necessary, especially to be an educator. You got to have a background check. You're not letting you there. Nobody's shy without a background check.
I want to be
medical too. The medical checks you got to get done. But anyway.
Oh yeah. Where was I? I think when I lived in Japan, I had to do a medical check. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Before I forget, I want to make sure that everybody, all flattery will get you everywhere. I want everybody to check out her channel. She has a lot of things here, a little different from the way I do it, but she's a lot calmer than I am. And I want everybody to get a chance to go to her channel. She's got a pretty diverse group of subjects, and she delivers messages that aren't quite me, but she's definitely the best version of her. And like I said, YouTube is a place where everybody can be friends. It's not like the old days when if your television show came on at the same time as mine, we had to fight it out.
Right.
Now, you can go to her channel, be her friend, and be my friend at the same time, and it's not a big deal.
Exactly. Gotta support each other.
Yeah. Barbara Hughes Dawson.
Oh, hey, that's my mom. Hey, Nikki.
Make sure you go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to my channel to get some more of this awesomeness.
She'll do it too. Her birthday's coming up in a few days. We'll definitely be chatting tomorrow on the 4th and then later on this week for her birthday. Oh, yeah, Stephanie. I love her too. I think she's on YouTube as well. I'll definitely connect you too, so you can. She's about the house.
Yeah, make sure you connect us. Make sure you connect us.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to get across to people is, I think that's the biggest part of it. It's not just for people like me and you who travel. You can be anywhere and learn something, and I become a gateway to that because a lot of the techniques and things I've learned, now I go to other people and I teach them how to do that. And I've helped some people make some money, and it's been a lot of fun. Yeah. What are some of the unique traits of Oman where you live that you want to share, that you think are things that people need to know ahead of time?
I think for me, I think one of the beauties of being in Oman and being an educator, being a teacher, and a travel blogger, it's like I feel like I've been helping dispel this notion of like, oh, the Middle East is a scary place and it's dangerous, and oh, you're single, you don't have a husband, and things of that nature. Like I'm like, y'all, life is good. Like Oman is actually one of the safest countries. So, like I went from South Korea to here. Oh, hey, Whitney. Yeah, I went from South Korea to now working in the Middle East. And like both of these countries, like I've been in, have been some of the safest places you can ever consider living. So it's like, I'm grateful to be here because it's like my Omani coworkers are sweethearts. My students are lovely. It's just like I feel so at ease. Like I'm just so chill here. And I think maybe because I've been living in the Middle East for so long, I kind of got that like, oh, inshallah, what will be, will be. Like I'm a little less like, as Americans, we're a little wound up, but here life is just like kind of easy, But like you were saying before, it's definitely not like you got to do your research. Like I'm grateful that I have been able to like educate people on life here in the Middle East. As a single woman in particular, like a lot of people ask me questions about, Oman is fantastic. Like I love it here. I know more and more people, it's on their radar. So I'm kind of excited just to see people becoming more open to the idea of coming here. But I will say, like for me, I'm fortunate because I work at a university. I'm working, in the education sector. Like I know right now it's becoming much more competitive, even prior to COVID, but now COVID, like, ooh, the visas and trying to, like, I know someone had reached out to me. They were like, oh, I have a nursing background or I have a doctor background. Like, would I be able to get into Oman? And I'm like, well, there's this thing in the GCC, like in Oman, they call it Omanization. If you live in the Emirates, it's called Emiratization. In Saudi, it's Saudization. They're all about like trying to keep certain jobs within the country for their locals, because the struggle is real. Like the economy with Oman isn't as oil rich as like, Kuwait or Doha, Qatar, or whatever. So Oman doesn't have as much oil money. So like one of the things I do like about Oman is Omanis are very humble. Like my taxi driver is like, they are all Omani. You go to the Emirates, you would never see an Emirati driving a taxi. Like it would just never happen. So that's one of the things I do like about Oman. It's like the people are very humble, but there are opportunities in education, even in engineering, but certain fields, you got to do your research. Don't just expect like, oh yeah, I want to get a job, come to Oman and get a job in a week. No, you got to network and really do the research and the groundwork, make sure that there are, giving visas to expats, whatever particular job you're trying to do to come here. So definitely want people to know that. So.
Well, it's interesting because I get a lot of questions too about Brazil, and people say, well, wait a minute. I read Brazil is dangerous and there are people there with guns and you'll get shot. And I say, well, first of all, you know what? They're absolutely right. However, it's still more likely to get shot in America. And what I have to explain to people is like, well, I tell people this all the time, and I'm going to illustrate my point. When people say, why? I heard Brazil is dangerous. I say, well, that's like saying I heard the United States is dangerous. The first question you should always ask is, okay, where? Where exactly is it dangerous? Mm-hmm. And they say, well, what do you mean? And I say, well, that's exactly what I mean. It's where are you talking about when you're dealing with a country that is, wait for it, the same size as the United States. People don't know that though. They're like, wait a minute, you mean what? I'm saying, so that's like saying You know what? America is dangerous if you go to the wrong neighborhood in the Bronx or the wrong neighborhood in LA or the wrong neighborhood in Dallas, Fort Worth. Yeah, it's absolutely dangerous. Yeah. So my question to you is that when they say Brazil is dangerous, can you help me out here and explain exactly where? What part? What city? And even if they say, well, Sao Paulo, Brazil, because that's where you live, I heard it's dangerous there. Okay, fair enough. Now, when your friend told you he got robbed, which might have happened, I want you to say to him, oh, where were you? And he's going to say, I was in Sao Paulo. Say, no. Give me the closest intersection of where you were when something bad happened to you. And what people don't want to tell you is that when you're on the wrong intersection in some place in town, you got no place being where decent men don't go. Let me say that again. In every city, there are places where decent people don't go, but they don't want to tell you that's where they were. They don't want to say, I went to Brazil and I got robbed. Really? Okay. Well, where were you? Were you downtown where my buddies and I, we go and have our coffee and chicken wings? Were you down there just on the street, just got robbed in the middle of the biggest street in the biggest city in the world? No. Oh, wait a minute. Were you near the Black History Museum down near the Park where people take their children to eat ice cream and learn history? Did you get robbed there? No. Oh, so you mean you was down the street and around the corner at 3 o'clock in the morning? Can you explain to me what goes on in that neighborhood at 3 o'clock in the morning on the street? So you got robbed in this other neighborhood. When I Google that neighborhood, they say don't go there because this is where bad people do ignorant shit, and that's where you were. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
You can't explain why you were there.
Yeah.
You can't explain why you were there. Then it gets no one can explain it. It's like, I wasn't born in poverty and I don't go to certain neighborhoods, and I'm not equating poverty to crime, but I'm equating poverty to crime. I don't go places where bad people do shit. I don't go places with histories. I don't go places where the police are looking to shoot someone. That's not me. But if you want to go there, that's fine. Just don't be mad. Yep. People always want to say something bad about Brazil, not mentioning the fact that the only place in the world where you can go to a shopping mall and get shot to death, or a movie theater and get shot to death, or a children's schoolroom can get shot to death is in America. But they always want to tell you how about these other countries. Don't go to Haiti. Don't go to Brazil. What do all those countries have in common? Is it language? No. Could it be majority Black countries?
Right.
Yes.
Oh, the stereotypes. And that's the thing, it's just like that's what blows my mind. People make this misconception about like, oh, the Middle East is so dangerous, where you're just like, I have no idea. I was like, I never felt as safe as I feel in Oman compared. Like, I'm from Detroit. I'm like, people be like, oh, so concerned about me going to different places I go to in Africa and different places. I'm like, y'all, I survived the east side of Detroit. And I survived outside of Chicago, where I lived for 5 years before coming abroad. If I can survive the D and the Shy, I can survive Nizwa Oman. I can survive, the different places I've been in Kenya. Like, I don't have to worry about the thing, like getting shot. You know what I mean? Like over here in the Middle East, it doesn't happen. So I'm just like, y'all continue to live in fear if you want to. I'm a big city girl. I'm living in a small town now, but I'm from a big city. I know how to watch my back. I know how to live, survive. But yeah, it's like that. Go back to the States, man. I have to put that big city girl hat back on after like being in the desert. Or, when I used to be in South Korea, it was like, ooh, okay, yep, I'm back in the shop. What's that? 313, Detroit. Hey, some Detroiters, yes.
But that's the awkward part about it when you talk about these things. That's neither here nor there. But I think that we've done a good job today of giving some information that a lot of people didn't have, and I appreciate everybody that stopped by.
Absolutely.
We got some other things coming up over the weekend, and listen, I want you to be a regular on my panel. I'll start to shoot you. Whenever I'm about to go live, I shoot certain people a message. Kenna will tell you, I'll shoot people a message and say, hey, I'm going live in an hour. Here's my subject. Would you like to be a part of it? Because now StreamYard has moved up from being 6 people to I think you have 10 people on the screen, which I'll tell you why. It's because StreamYard is actually better than Zoom, but they had a limit. And so now they're like, opening it up. StreamYard, I think, kills Zoom in every possible direction. Going back to the States for more than... Well, what's awkward is that when you lived outside of America, you stop being nervous in a way that you weren't before.
Yes, absolutely. My anxiety levels go up. And it's crazy. It's just like being here in the middle of a pandemic. Like, I never would have thought that, you know, going my mom, like I was my mom's birthday next week. Oh, hey, Jack, your cousin. And so yeah, I never would have thought that I would literally not be able to go back to the States. Like, if I wanted to go home for the summer, there was a strong possibility that I was not yet. Living here makes me nervous. Yeah, I know yeah, she tells me all the time. She was just like, I feel so much more at ease having you being over here than being back in the States. Like, my mom she doesn't ask me about coming back home to the States because she's like, you're living a good life outside of the country. Why would I make you want to come back and deal with the crap we're dealing with now? So thank you, Mom. I appreciate you so greatly. But yeah, so I just would have never thought, like, if I had made the risk.
Wait, read what Whitney said.
Reverse cultural shock is real. I need to get the disability. Yes. You ain't never lied. The struggle, the mental health struggle. But so yeah, it's like if I had tried to go back to the States, I probably wouldn't have been able to get back into Oman. And I was like, y'all, sorry, 6 years, this is my livelihood. Like, I can't risk. And then also possibly being a carrier, like I wouldn't take that risk anyway of going back home and possibly getting my mom or someone else sick. Just, but you know.
So let's do this. Jackie Smith. Go to YouTube, type in StreamYard. They have their own YouTube and look up the tutorial. It's real easy to use, very easy to use. But listen, I've got some stuff I've got to handle, and I want to have enough time to talk to dear sister Nicole after you guys go home. So do you want to give them any parting words?
Well, the thing about it, for me, I feel like both of us are like expat, like we're veterans of the game, right? And it's like my main goal has been to dispel the fear of like leaving the States and trying something new. Now, I've been fortunate. I've lived in South Korea. I lived in Oman. I've lived in Germany a year. We didn't even get a chance to talk about studying abroad. Like, you know, I lived in Germany a year. And it's like, I don't really have any fear about living outside of the States. Like, I feel like I'm a global citizen. I'm a citizen of the world. I can pack up and make it work. You know, I'm very versatile. And so, you know, I want people to be open to the possibilities, you know, of what's out there. I mean, there's so many opportunities in the world. You just got to network. You got to make it happen. Be on YouTube, be on communities like my travel group, I Love the Globetrot. You know, follow me there, definitely on social media. But I'm just grateful to just be able to have a platform to like show women in particular. Like, I love, you know, showing Black women, like, you guys can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. You know, like, that's really my end game. It's like trying to motivate people to consider this lifestyle because it's fabulous. Like, I love it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm all about. I'm just here to inspire people to get out here, see the world, be it through travel or be it through living abroad. Opportunities are endless. So yeah, definitely at the end of the day, follow me on I Love the Globetrot, the Facebook group, the community, on Instagram. You know, I'm the same, Twitter, all of the different platforms. It's the same. Oh, thanks, cousin. Love you too. Yeah, she was supposed to be bringing a group. Like, she has a travel company. She's supposed to be bringing a group of people to Dubai. I'm just like, oh, I was going to hop over to Dubai, meet up with her, but inshallah, as we say, next year we'll make this happen. I'm locked down in India after leaving South Korea. Oh, she's in India. Oh, okay. I didn't know that, Whitney. All right. So yeah, but that's my story. I'm here just to inspire people to consider this lifestyle. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you hadn't seen it, go back up the film. Go back and look at the description I gave for Patreon and some of the things I'm able to do. A few of you already said you're going to email me, so you're looking forward to those books as well. Be safe wherever you are, whatever your political affiliation, you know, and all that good stuff. I just want you to please stay safe. Stay safe. All right.
Totally. Hey, girl, hey. Oh, we met up in Atlanta last year. Yes, wear your mask, wash your hands, be safe, stay healthy.
Bye-bye, everybody.